Hey family, how's it going? Freedom Arts here, and I'm here to discuss a very important video. Today we're going to talk about former senator, or I guess current senator, now running for United States President, Kamala Harris. So, as you probably heard by now, many people, especially of the African diaspora, which we will get into later in this video, do not take too kind to her campaign and do not see any point in voting for her or putting her in office due to a lot of things that she's done in her history and her past that we're going to discuss shortly. Now, I want to make this video not necessarily quick. I just want to get straight to the point. So I won't babble on too long and I'll keep everything simple. So, first and foremost, one of the main reasons why, at least for the African American community, we don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, and why it's not a good idea for any African American or black person to vote for Kamala Harris is because, one, she has a very questionable, to be nice about it, past. She has fought tooth and nail to pass or enforce legislation that has not benefited minorities or, more specifically, black people. She has fought tooth and nail for legislation that will penalize parents whose kids do not attend school as frequently as they are supposed to. Now, people have expressed concerns that for the most part this is going to affect African American women because they say that it's going to affect poor people, where in California the poorest people are black people, and unfortunate as it is, but it's true, and a lot of the black males are in jail, a lot of them for crimes they didn't even do, and Kamala Harris is actually trying to enforce legislation that keeps them in jail, that keeps them penalized, and keeps them on death row, not only just on death row, but to actually have them executed for potential crimes that they didn't even do. But going on with that, there's a lot of legislation that she wanted to pass that would penalize black women specifically, because black women are the ones who would suffer most from this legislation that would penalize poor or low income communities in California for kids that don't attend school regularly the way they're supposed to, because the black women are the ones that they're single mothers. So that's one reason, or a few I suppose. Reason number two is she's not honest. She's not honest politically. She's not honest in any way, shape, or form, and she jumps around to whatever point conveniences her. Now, she has a relationship. She has had a relationship with men who are much older than her and who, conveniently enough, had a lot of political power. So, for example, give me a second. We have the former California mayor, Willie Brown, and this is what he had to say. So Willie Brown says, yes, we dated. It was more than 20 years ago. Yes, I may have influenced her career by appointing her to 2 state commissions when I was Assembly Speaker. So, basically he's saying she gave me favors and I gave her favors, and we know what kind of favors that they're suggesting or talking about right there. So she uses her political status and lifts up her skirt to get political favors and rise in power, which is not a very clean look for someone running for U.S. president, no pun intended. Now, not to drag on too long, because most of these things you can find online. People like Professor Black Truth and Black Authority have talked about this. But one more point that I wanted to talk about is the main reason why black people shouldn't vote for her is because she doesn't have a black agenda. Okay, so I'll start off with the tweet that she did on January 31st, a few days ago. So, here's what the tweet says. Passing the Equality Act won't only end discrimination against sexual orientation and gender identity. It's a pivotal part in ending homophobia and transphobia and moving our culture forward to be more inclusive and respectful. End quote. So, she has no issue setting an agenda for the gays. She has no issue setting an agenda for the LGBT community. But there is no black agenda. When anybody asks her about a black agenda, she says, we're all Americans. We're all a monolith. We're all this huge monolith, and we all need to be viewed as one spectacle until it comes to a community that's not black. Now, I could go on and on and on and on. There are so many bad things that she has in her quote-unquote resume that doesn't resonate good with black people. But at the end of the day, this is what you need to remember. She doesn't have a black agenda. She spent her entire political career marginalizing black people. And worst of all, she speaks with a forked tongue. She says good things sometimes, but never holds herself accountable for them. She either is politically incompetent or she's politically ignorant, because she claims that a lot of shady things were going on in her office right under her nose when she was the general, give me a second, not the general attorney, when she was general attorney, and she seemed baffled, quote unquote, that's a loose quote anyway, that there was shady business going on in her office under her nose. Now, either you knew what was going on and you decided not to do anything about it, or you didn't know what was going on and you're too incompetent to see what was going on, which means you do not need to be the president of the United States, because you do not have the intellectual capacity or the ability to focus long enough to hold such a powerful political position. But like I said, I can digress. I can go on and on and on and on. We do not need to vote for her. She is a prosecuting nightmare, and she will bring no good to this country, especially no good to black people. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Stay safe, stay happy, and most of all, stay black. Be one.